Good evening, everybody. How you doing? 6 p.m. on Sunday, June 21st. Welcome to Weekly Recap Facebook Live. And first and foremost, happy Father's Day to everyone out there who is a dad. And hope you've had a good day and an enjoyable day. Uh, Glad to have a day that we can celebrate and as fathers. And I think I've got a little one upstairs who's making a special something for me. We'll see. But happy Father's Day to everyone. And again, hope you've had a good day, albeit a much warmer day today. So let's get kicked off here. Weekly shout out. Started out Tuesday with a shout out to Shannon Whistler, Washington First Mortgage. She was one that had asked to explain a little bit more about Wi-Fi mesh. And so I did on the Tuesday edition of the Facebook Live and talked a little bit more about it and hopefully helped explain it a little bit more in depth. So shout out to Shannon. If you're refining or purchasing, absolutely talk to Shannon. She and her team can take care of you at Washington First. And public service announcement talked about Zoom. Zoom updated out to version 5.1. And also I saw an article this week where they are actually extending end-to-end encryption for all users and not excluding the free users from the end-to-end encryption. So good news for everybody, encryption to help protect, keep your data safe while you're on the Zoom calls. And so make sure you're updating again. As I've said before, open up your Zoom desktop application, upper right-hand corner, your picture or name, click on it, down, check for updates. It'll do it. Click on that. It'll take it from there. So make sure you update to the latest version. And we talked about how over the past week and a half, how there's different companies who are preventing or stopping, banning the use of their facial recognition software to law enforcement. Amazon, IBM, Ring were three of the ones that I talked about. Microsoft, add them to the list. They are not going to be selling their facial recognition until there is a national law to regulate the technology. That could set up for a pretty interesting debate, especially in light of everything that's going on with racial injustice and working to bring equality across the nation as well as privacy. And there was a big talk. I talked a little bit about COVID-19 tracing apps and how there was data that was being tracked. The country of Israel said they were not going to use it, and a lot of states weren't seeing big adoption of it. And it's been said that you need at least a 60% adoption rate for it to be effective. So, it could be interesting to see if or when a national law is put into place, or if any of these companies will go back to selling their facial recognition software to police officers anytime soon. Not sure, but interesting and good to see that there's people, bigger companies that are kind of making a decision to take a stand. Intel, newest chips coming out, codenamed Tiger Lake. They will have what they call it. It's labeled the Intel Control Flow Enforcement Technology, or Intel SET. And it's just designed to provide chip-level protection against code execution for hijacking, and that is a good thing. For the longest time, there's always been this kind of competition between building security into a product from the ground up at the architecture level versus getting it to market fast because of the competition that's out there, and it does take longer to build security into it. The idea of patch afterwards is never as effective when it comes to security. So this is something that it'll be available in future desktop and server platforms. It's already working with Microsoft to integrate it with Windows 10. And Microsoft will have support for the Intel SET. It'll be called Hardware Enforced Stack Protection. So it is coming. That's good. Glad to see that. Hopefully that will bleed into more chip level protections. And speaking of which, I saw that Apple is going to be moving away from Intel based chips to their own chips. That is supposed to be happening relatively soon. And there was an article. I'll talk about this on Facebook Live on Tuesday, but I just saw this article today, and it looks like the first computers that are going to have the Apple based chip will be a 13-inch MacBook Pro and a 24-inch version of a previously rumored iMac design, probably this fall. Let's say could be 2021, but it looks like Apple is going their own route, developing their own chips. Be interesting to see what the specs on that are, the performance, and how it compares to what Intel has provided over the last several years. So for those of you Apple people out there, keep an eye out. New Apple chip only. There were some Apple antitrust investigations. EU authorities are investigating some. They're launching formal investigations over concerns that Apple's way of doing business hurts consumers by limiting choice and innovation and keeping its prices high. And it's related to their payment system. Not sure if there's merit to it, but it is being looked into. They're saying that Apple has set condition on how Apple Pay should be used in merchants' apps and websites. So, is it denying consumers the benefits of new payment technologies? I guess we'll see. But there has been a couple of antitrust investigations launched, and along those same lines, Amazon's being reviewed for its business practices and handling of third-party sellers. This is out in California and Washington. They're focusing primarily, at least in California, on how Amazon treats independent sellers. And Washington is again Amazon's handling of third-party sellers on its website. So this is part of a bigger picture where state inquiries are coming amidst just higher scrutiny with big tech. And what their impact is on competition and consumers. I mean, if you think about it, Amazon went from 20 years ago selling books to selling anything that Jeff Bezos wants to sell and anything that you and I want to sell. So it has just blown up. So how does that affect or impact consumer choices? And is it a monopoly? I don't know. We'll see. I know many people out there use Amazon, and we'll see. And along the same lines, talking about Amazon, and obviously the size of the company does allow for innovation. And Amazon is launching an AI-based tracking system that's actually going to help to enforce social distancing at their warehouses. Again, this gets into privacy, is because you're going to have cameras that are monitoring people, and a green circle means they're socially distant. Red circle means they're not. And the system's called Distance Assistant. So privacy activists have already said, started raising concerns about the full-fledged tracking of people in the warehouses, and where is that? Is there data that's being stored? Where is that data being stored at? Can anybody else have access to it if it gets breached? So Amazon already has it live at a handful of buildings. They're supposed to be rolling out to more real soon. And so we talked about Wi-Fi mesh and just how a Wi-Fi mesh system is designed to, if you have a larger area to cover, how it allows you to get Wi-Fi from one side of a house or building to another side, or from the bottom floor to the top floor. Designed around the average consumer. It's really plug and play. You do have apps on your phone that you can use to make adjustments and do tweaking to the Wi-Fi mesh system. It's most of the systems are not as tech heavy as some of the things you can do, like Wi-Fi access points, but it does help with Wi-Fi. They're not your Wi-Fi extenders or Wi-Fi boosters. They're much better. Eero, TP-Link, Linksys, Netgear, Google, the list goes on and on. The companies that actually have a Wi-Fi mesh system, they can be a little bit pricier, but if you're looking for ease of setup, ease of use, and definitely giving you Wi-Fi coverage throughout your house, they're well worth the time and the money. And that was a lot of what I covered on Tuesday. Thursday, yes, I was on the golf course. I was enjoying the nice weather before it got hot on the weekend, and shout out to my buddy and good friend Amir for inviting me out and out hitting some golf balls around. Probably hit golf ball better than I have in many years, but it was great. I saw a post on Instagram today, and I shared it. I thought it summed up golf very well. Golf can be best defined as an endless series of tragedies obscured by the occasional miracle. And believe me, for anybody who plays golf, who's the hacker out there, pun intended on hacker. It is fun to go out, but it can be extremely frustrating. But it was a good day, great day, 9 holes. Thank you, Amir, for bringing me out and letting me play. Good time. And it's supposed to get hot this week. Officially, Moco's in phase 2 as of 5 p.m. Friday. Again, do what you feel most comfortable doing. Still a lot of restrictions in place. Wear a mask if you feel comfortable. Some people aren't. Some people will. Everybody has their own decision to make. But do what you feel most comfortable doing. And if you can get out and enjoy the weather as much as you can, please do so. And as always, what do you want to know about? Text me, message me, comment section. Let me know what you want to hear about. I appreciate being able to, just like Shannon did last week, being able to take a topic and expand on it and help teach a little bit. So if there's something you want to know more about, please let me know. I will gladly talk about it. Again, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. This short one today because I want everybody to be with their families. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you Tuesday, 6 p.m. for the next Facebook Live. And until then, have a great start to your week. Bye.